he was born in southern Louisiana on a cotton farm, on a plantation. He grew up picking cotton, and his family was, sharecroppers forever. And so he grew up literally dirt poor. That's what the phrase means. And so he knows what it is to be poor. And now that he's a wealthy man, he puts all his effort and his wealth into helping others. Now, I know your topic today is jobs. And so while there's a lot to talk about Dr. Wilson, I'm going to focus on your topic of jobs. So Dr. Wilson has had many positions over the years and continues now that he's running for United States Senator. That's his current goal for this November 3rd, just 54 days away or so. November 3rd, you'll all go to vote for president first, and then the next position is U.S. Senator, and you'll see Dr. Willie Wilson's name, second position. You'll see the two candidates for president, and then you'll see three candidates for U.S. Senator. And that'll be Dick Durbin and Mark Curran, and Dr. Willie Wilson will be there on the first page of the ballot. You'll have a chance to vote for him for U.S. Senator. And what he wants to achieve in that office is to focus on making tax dollars that we all pay in. Every time you go to the grocery store or the gasoline or anything you purchase, you're paying tax. If you own property, you're paying real estate tax. If you're buying things, you're paying sales tax. If you're earning income, money is being taken out of your check for tax. And where do those taxes go? Well, they go to the government, but they don't get put back proportionately in the same way they're taken out. So let's talk about the African American community, about 15% of the state of Illinois. So they're paying all this tax in, but do they get 15% of the tax money back when the state and local governments purchase goods and purchase services and hand out jobs? Do they get 15% of the jobs? Do they get 15% of the contracts? No, less than 1%. So he fights for parity, this equal, if you're putting in this much, you should get back this much.
Okay.
And he wants to achieve political position so that those tax dollars are spent in each community to the same proportion that that community represents the population of the people. So again, if African Americans are 15% of the state of Illinois, they should get 15% of the jobs. They should get 15% of the contracts. They should get 15% of all of those tax dollars that are being spent.
Okay.
Not even close at this point.
Right. I just like to take you back a little bit. Having, gone into his career as a politician or his aspirations as a politician, I want to, and a philanthropist, I would like to track back a little bit regarding some of his philanthropic activities in Chicago. A lot of people know him for that. He's very popular for being very generous to the community, but we also know that he ran for office. He ran for the mayor, the last time. And you would wonder, and this is not the first time. Is it the first time he's running for the U.S. Senate?
Yeah, he ran for mayor once. Then he ran for president of the United States against Hillary Clinton.
Right.
That race, he came in 5th for president of the United States in 2016. We have a chart hanging on the wall.
Right.
Showing total percentage in votes. And then he ran for mayor again a second time.
Okay.
And now he's running for U.S. Senate.
Great. So again, the question that a lot of people ask is that why does he just go out? Some people say, oh, he just gives out money. And a lot of people don't really, even though it's a good thing and people are benefiting off of it, people saying, why do you just go out and give money? Why don't you give them jobs so that they can keep, feeding themselves? And he's very good at that. I mean, almost every now and then you hear him in the news, social media, giving out money. So how would you want to respond to people who say that?
So first of all, he's created thousands of jobs in his lifetime. So when he owned whatever business he owned, say McDonald's restaurants, he had hundreds of employees when he owned McDonald's restaurants. The international business he has now doesn't employ that many people. This
Okay.
is, ordering goods from China to be dispersed around the whole world. So there's an office full of people. He has some employees in China, and he has some employees here in Chicago, and he has a few employees scattered around, but there's not so many jobs. There's not hundreds of jobs in that business. So he doesn't have any jobs in his own hands at this point to give out. But he understands he still wants to create those jobs.
Right.
So that's why he wants to run for political office. So he's in a position, he says to me often, look, I can give away my little piece of money. When my money compared to the government's money is tiny.
Okay.
It's insignificant. So I want to get into the government so
Mhm.
I can direct that government money to help the people.
Right.
It's hundreds of times more than I can do on my own.
Good. So that's a good point. He can direct government's money in helping the people, and he already even before the government money comes in, there's evidence that he's giving money. He wants to help people, so people can connect the fact that okay, if he gets in there, he's going to help us. So good point made.
Yeah, well, he's done it himself all his life.
Exactly.
And so he's saying, but it's not enough. I can't do enough with just the little money I have.
Good.
It's not a little money, perhaps, to you and I.
Yes, I have a follow-up question for you.
It's not a lot.
Good. So follow-up question is, if he's doing that, do you think that people are resonating to that? In as much as he's being so benevolent to the community, do you think people are connecting and appreciating and supporting his agenda and his mission for the community that he's serving and being so kind to?
Well, so you're focusing on his giving, which of course is a big thing. He does a lot of giving. But when we give speeches, when we're putting things politically out there,
right,
he's talking about jobs programs. He's talking about training programs. He's talking about grants to help people start a new business. So I'll give you an example of one of the things he talks about. I put it in my own words. This is my example, not his.
Okay.
He says, for example, how much toilet paper do you believe the state of Illinois purchases per year for every bathroom that has to stock at every building, at every school, at every place? It buys millions, many tens of millions of dollars worth of toilet paper. And it purchases that toilet paper probably from Scott Paper Company in Minnesota, let's say.
Okay.
Well, why not give the contract to buy toilet paper for the state of Illinois to SENA?
Okay.
Let SENA build a warehouse in Englewood. Let SENA buy trucks from Ford Motor Company or Chevy Motor Company. Let SENA hire truck drivers. Let SENA hire people from Englewood to stock the warehouse and load the trucks, and a driver to drive that truck to the state of Illinois to drop off the toilet paper. Why not put you in the contract for the state of all the toilet paper? You'll become a millionaire. You'll employ hundreds of people loading the trucks, unloading the trucks, driving the trucks, running the place, in the office. And so that's how we create wealth. That's how we create jobs. We direct the contracting for the state funds, which are tax money. Remember, all state funds are tax money that you paid in. Every time you bought groceries or bought gasoline, you gave a certain amount of that in tax to the state. So why not have the state give you that contract for, let's say, toilet paper? Of course, you can imagine millions of things they buy. Rubber tires for all the cars and trucks that the state of Illinois owns. Gasoline, repair for those trucks and cars. There's so many contracts that are given out. Why not give the contract to the little guy? Why do you have to always give it to the big multinational corporation, Scott Paper in Minnesota? Give it to the little guy and let him create regional wealth. Wealth in a neighborhood, wealth in a community. Let him hire people from his own community to staff his business, to serve the state of Illinois using the taxpayers' money. You see, this plan costs no more money. It doesn't require more money to be put into the system. It doesn't require more taxes to be charged to the people. It's taking the existing taxes and saying, wait a second, don't give that tax money to the big corporation, the big paper company in Minnesota. Give it to SENA and let SENA make the arrangement to buy the toilet paper and transport it and warehouse it and move it and hire all the people required to do those steps from the community. That's putting money in the Chicago, Illinois community rather than in the Minnesota community.
Okay. That makes sense. Now, you said that in the past he's been able to pass two laws or two bills with his own money without being a state or a government official or whatever.
Right.
How is one able to do that? How did that? If you can explain that to the layman's understanding, right?
So it's unique. I have never heard of anyone ever doing it before. So he got the idea.
Uh-huh.
And one of them is on this contracting issue I'm talking about. That's one of the laws.
Okay.
And the second law was on bail reform. So he went to get prisoners out of the Cook County Jail, and he talked to them, and he found out that these guys and ladies are stuck in the jail because they need $200 or $300 to get out. See, what happens is if you get arrested, you're put into jail until your court date. Well, your court date can take many months, sometimes years.
Right.
So you stay in the jail. They allow you to go home on bail, on cash bail. But in the past, people didn't have the cash to allow themselves to go home and wait for their court date. So he was paying his own money to get people out. So he passed a law that says if you're poor and you don't have the $200 or $300 to get out, you have to be able to sign a promissory note to the jail so that you can go home. So he got that law passed. But let's talk about your question, how is it done? So he first had the idea for a specific law. And he called his lawyer. And he sat down with his lawyer and he said, I want to write a law. I want to propose a law that says these things, get people out of jail or the contracting. And so the lawyer helped him put the legal terms in the proper order, the way laws are written. It was written by a lawyer in the proper way.
Yep.
And discussed it back and forth, made changes, got it perfect. And then Dr. Wilson took it to some of the legislators. You're going to have Danny Davis on a little later, who Dr. Wilson is very, very friendly with for many years. And Danny Davis helped Dr. Wilson get these laws passed. So he was instrumental in it. You can ask him the same question. And so then a legislator like Congressman Davis reads the law that Dr. Wilson proposed. And he says, you should make some changes. Change this a little bit here, change this a little bit there. The lawyer changes it for Dr. Wilson. Then Dr. Wilson hires a lobbyist, a professional who goes around to all the legislators and says, hey, look at this law. You know, read this. Doesn't this make sense? Isn't this a good idea? Wouldn't you like to support this law? And then Dr. Wilson himself went down to Springfield and he met with the Black Caucus of legislators in Illinois. And he showed them the law and he said, look at my law, look at my proposal. Doesn't this make sense to you? Wouldn't you like to be behind this? Won't you sign on and sponsor it? And he got existing legislators to say, yes, you're right, this is a good law. And they introduced it into the floor of the government.
Wow.
For a general discussion amongst all the lawmakers. And they said, I, as a lawmaker, am now proposing this idea that Dr. Willie Wilson brought forward.
Okay.
And so then the legislators, the elected officials discuss it back and forth. They make some more changes in the law, and it comes to a vote. And the legislators say in Springfield, as an example, they say, yeah, okay, we've discussed this, we've analyzed it, we've changed it around a little bit, we're ready to vote for it. And they pass it, and it becomes law.
Wow. How many politicians do you know that have used the same, I'll say, tactics, strategy to get laws passed?
Well, it's done every day. I mean, that's the way laws get passed. But the point,
I mean, non-politicians.
You said
Right.
You said elected officials.
Exactly.
He did this as a private citizen.
No, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. How many private, like non-politicians? Right, that's what I'm saying. I meant to say private citizen. Yes.
I've never heard of it being done. So, Senna, let's say you and I today after the show, let's talk by phone. Let's come up with an idea, and let's make a new law. You and I, let's propose it. Well, guess what it takes? Money.
Yeah.
Because you have to pay the lawyer, a lot of consultations back and forth, research to write the law, get it written properly. Then you have to know people like Congressman Davis that you can go to as a friend and say, hey, friend, read this for me. This is my idea. Tell me what's good about it. Tell me what's bad about it. Give me your ideas. Make it better. And then you have to have the time and the money to travel to Springfield and you have to have a friend on the Black Caucus and say, hey, I want to come and meet with the Black Caucus and propose something to you. And I, Sena, can't do that.
Yeah.
Don't have the friends, the connections, and the
Yeah.
money and the time. So friends, connections, money, time, energy, heart, will to do those things and see it through. It took him more than a year.
I think that the key thing here in all the things or the attributes that you mentioned is the heart, because I am sure that there are a lot of people and a lot of private citizens who have the connections, the money, probably more than he has, and everything else, but have not maybe gone to this extent, because this is going to the extreme, because it's not like he's being paid for it. It's not like he is an elected official. How is it going to benefit him?
It's from here. It's from here.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Yeah.
Look, so, who is successful in life? Who makes a lot of money in life? The guys who will work 12, 14, 15, 20 hours a day. It costs them their marriage. It costs them their relation with their children.
Right.
To be successful is a great idea, but to be successful causes a huge sacrifice in another part of your life.
Exactly.
So who's willing to make all those sacrifices to get something accomplished? Well, he's accomplished already all the business and money parts of his life. So every man has a hobby. Some guys like cars or racing, some people like flying, model airplanes or building, model airplanes. Some guys now are doing video games are their hobby. Everybody has a hobby.
Exactly.
Can you imagine a man that has a hobby writing laws?
Yeah.
Passing laws as a hobby?
Passing laws for people in this community.
Lives as a hobby. So instead of watching TV, instead of going to the movies, instead of playing golf, instead of going fishing, instead of going on vacation anywhere in the world because he can afford to go anywhere he wants, he spends his free time thinking about the people who are down and out and how to improve their life, and puts his money, his time, his energy, and his effort to help other people.
Well,
I'm telling you, I don't know anyone else in my life.
It is extraordinary what he's doing. And if you just joined us, this is the Progressive Mind show with your host Alinko. We are talking about today's topic is where are the jobs, and we scheduled Dr. Willie Wilson, who is a businessman, a philanthropist in Chicago. If you live in Chicago and you haven't heard of him, then you probably are not you're not a genuine citizen Chicagoan. Okay. That is on the large side, but he is known all over Cook County, even beyond the boundaries of
the country, the world.
Yeah, exactly.
His TV show is international. I think it's in 22 countries.
Right, and I'll let you go into that. So if you just join us on Facebook, please help share the feed, because we want to talk about the jobs and what and how the pandemic has caused a lot of stress, both financially. Today we're gonna focus on the job stress that the pandemic has caused and how we can find help. But in that, Dr. Willie Wilson is running for U.S. Senate this year, and we are looking into his background. We're talking about what he's already done, his passion for the community, and what he might bring to the state of Illinois if he gets there. And filling in from, he's going to join us very soon. These people are very busy. He has other engagements
in the other room. He's going to take my place as soon as he's finished with the other interview.
Okay, so he's doing another interview, as you heard. So as soon he's going to be joining us very soon. Instead, maybe the next 5 minutes. Instead, his right hand man, Scott Winslow, is filling in for him, and we have been talking about his background. If you missed it, you can always watch this show later. We have Priscilla Thomas, who has joined us. Ate Akrong, my brother, you're welcome to the session this evening. Nana Ama Asamoah Ej, wonderful lady, spectacular. How are you? My brother Ifa Ameya is also here. Empress Mausi is also watching us. So Scott, let's talk how beneficial. And we've talked about what he's already done as a private citizen. Now he's going against Senator Dick Durbin, who has been around for a long time. He's very popular. Now Dr.
13 years in the Congress. He came from law school. Durbin went from law school right to Washington, D.C., never held a job.
Okay.
He became a professional politician right out of college. 37 years he's been a politician.
Right. Okay. So I guess the question I was trying to drive at is Dr. Willie Wilson has been running as an independent candidate. Some will argue maybe if he joins the, he tilts to the other party, that might give him a lot of push weight. Why is he not? And what are the chances this time?
He tried the other party.
Okay.
He tried to be a Democrat. He was a Democrat most of his life. He voted Democrat. He'll tell you about it.
Okay.
But the party wasn't as interested in him. They didn't back him. In fact, he has a lawsuit against the Democratic Party right now in Washington, D.C. for his run as United States president. He ran against Hillary Clinton in 2016. And he was treated so badly by the Democratic Party that kept him off the stage, that wouldn't let him speak, that he actually sued them. And that lawsuit is still going on. So he tried to work with the Democratic Party, and he's an independent because, he doesn't want to play the game. He doesn't want to take money from, parties or from corporations or from special interests. He says, and he'll tell you this, when you take money from someone, you owe them something. So if you take your contributions from these guys, they're going to come to you after you're elected, and they're going to expect you to represent them, not the people. And he wants to represent the people.
He wants to represent the people,
not the big corporations, not the special interests, not the party. He wants to represent the little guy who's struggling for a job. And by the way, when it comes to the jobs, his best idea, his biggest idea, he's fighting with unions. He's fighting and saying, look, 85% of the high school students of the city of Chicago, as an example, do not go to college. Only 15% go to college. So why are we always talking about college and college and college? The 15% elite group that go to college. Why don't we talk about the 85% of the kids who are not going to go to college? What are they going to do to earn a good living, to support a family, to raise their children? Let's talk about them. And they need to be plumbers, electricians, bricklayers, steel workers. They need to be building all the high rises downtown. Why are they not? Go to any high rise construction job and look up. Look under the hard hat. What color is the face under the hard hat? How many of them are African Americans or even Latinos? Almost none. So Dr. Wilson wants to make sure that those 85% of the kids that graduate from the Chicago Public School who are never going to go to college, they get some sort of training that allows them. It comes.
Okay.
You'll hear it from him, not from me. Right. Thank you, Scott. All right.
Well, Dr. Willie Wilson just joined us. We would take a short break. When we come back, we shall be joined by, we shall try and go to Dr. Willie Wilson. I think my brother Mike is still here. Brother, can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear.
All right. We had a little bit of issue, but let's take a short break. When we come back, we will be coming to you. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. You are watching the Progressive Mind Show live on Facebook. We are also live on our YouTube page, the Progressive Mind Show. This evening, we are talking about where are the jobs. Dr. Willie Wilson will be helping us to identify where the jobs are, if there aren't. He's already done a lot to help people who have had financial issues and who've also lost their jobs. Before he came in, Scott Winslow, his right-hand man, was trying to give us a bit background of Dr. Willie Wilson. He is here. We will hear it from him personally. Later this evening, around 7 p.m., we're going to have Congressman Danny Davis to also help us in this conversation. Before we go to Dr. Willie Wilson himself, my brother here, Captain Mike. We missed him earlier in the show due to technical issues. He's here to give us the weather, sports, and health updates. The weather has just changed in Chicago, and so we want to know what's up with that and how it's going to look like. Brother, take it from here.
Well, it could be a lot worse. You look at some place like Denver, where you went from 90 degrees to 30 degrees in snow. They can keep that. So, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, exactly. It's 2020. What do you expect? Well, it's not going to be that great here this week. It's going to be for the rest of the night. Right now, it's 64 degrees, cloudy skies, winds are out of the north at Midway Airport. We're going to get down to a low of about 60 degrees. And actually, the graphics department here, once again, top notch. For tonight, get down to a low of 60. Tomorrow, going to have some rain later, 65-degree high, low in the lower 60s. Friday, we're not looking for any rain, maybe a passing shower. Saturday, up to 70 degrees, going to have maybe a thunder shower later in the day. And then next week, we're going to start getting really nice, where Sunday, partly cloudy skies, 73 degrees, and really, really nice going into next week. So definitely, if you're going to have some outdoor activity, next week is the week to do it. Next week is going to be crappy. And looking at the sports, Saturday, you're going to have the Columbus Crew versus our Chicago Fire at Soldier Field. Tonight, White Sox are playing the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. And in about 30 minutes, the Reds are going to be at Wrigley Field playing the Cubs. Talking about our health and fitness report. Tonight, we're going to talk about strokes. What can identify a stroke? What do you need to do if you or someone else is having a stroke? So every minute counts. So make sure if you have any of these symptoms, make sure you get on it quickly. So the signs of a stroke: you have a sudden numbness in your face, arms, or legs, confusion, trouble understanding what people are saying, trouble speaking. You have trouble seeing out of one or both eyes. You have trouble walking, dizziness, trouble keeping your balance, and maybe a severe headache that doesn't have a reason or cause. So remember, FAST, F-A-S-T. First, the face. Ask a person to smile. If there's any drooping on either side of the face, very good symptom of a stroke. A, arms. Have them raise both arms straight up. And if one starts to drift downward, that could be a definitely symptom. Speech. Have them repeat a simple phrase. And if they can, if their speech is slurred, very good symptom. T, time. Once again, time is of the essence. Call 911 right away. And also, if you can, note the time that the symptoms first appeared, because that can be very important to the healthcare providers in providing the type of care the person would need to recover from the stroke. And with that, we're back to you, Sina.
My brother, thank you as always. We are glad to have you this evening. We hope that you can go enjoy the rest of the evening, take some rest, and maybe when is your next flight, bro?
Friday, actually, going to San Diego.
All right. Enjoy it, and we shall keep in touch.
Okay, and definitely, I wish I was there to meet Dr. Wilson and Danny Davis, but
well, he's here.
That's a good thing, because I'll be trying to get an autograph or something and embarrassing myself.
No, look, feel free, go ahead if you want to ask him a question or say hi to him. He can hear you loud and clear.
Dr. Wilson, it's great to talk to you. I've seen you all the time, voted for you a few times, and man, you're a celebrity.
Yeah, of course.
We work for other people, not for ourselves no more, you know?
All right. Well, that's a good message. Well, great to kind of meet you.
All right, good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that, the sports updates, Captain Mike. We are grateful. We're going to be talking to Dr. Willie Wilson. He is running for U.S. Senate Illinois this year, U.S. Senate 2020. And he wants to tell us, he will tell you, all of us, why you should vote for him and give him the mandate to fight for his community. And then, but then before we go into that, we want to talk about what the jobs are. We'll be mixing it up, okay? We'll mix it up what the jobs are and what he has done and what he can do to help people. Dr. Willie Wilson, you are welcome again to the Progressive Mind Show.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So a little background of Dr. Willie Wilson. We went into that, but I just want to let our audience understand who this great man is. We will not be able to go into everything, but I'll give you a gist of his background. Dr. Willie Wilson is a highly successful international businessman and philanthropist. Dr. Willie Wilson spent over 40 years finding ways to help the poor and disenfranchised at home, across the nation, and around the world. A deeply religious man, and motivated to who is motivated to be elected into office to influence the distribution of tax dollars toward the people's domestic issues. Pardon me, I think that I missed something there due to the typing, but I hope I got it clear. He has also become a voice of reason and moderation in political circles and is widely respected by politicians of all parties. Dr. Willie Wilson is in high demand as a speaker and commentator on issues, as well as a thoughtful, prosperous proposer of solutions. He has sponsored and gained passage of 3 legislative bills and 1 statewide executive order without holding any elected office. After participating in 3 previous campaigns, Dr. Willie Wilson is currently a candidate for the U.S. Senate. Dr. Willie Wilson, many accomplishments, many accolades. You've done so much for the community and you keep doing it. What is the one key thing that motivates you, even though you are not yet, even though you are still a private citizen? What is the one key thing that just drives you to keep giving and giving to the community day in, day out?
Well, the condition of the community is not right. You don't get the dollar back into the poor community as you're supposed to get back. And I mean the proportion, the tax dollars. Illinois, 15% of African American, we only get back less than 0.5%, 0.25% of the contracts. When we're supposed to get back 15% of the contracts. You know, so those type of things there, and you look around in the community, all the killing that's going on. Education system, healthcare crisis, the senior citizen, the dying, left and right, the age of life expectancy, and nobody caring about them. Nobody putting money back into those particular communities. Now I'm running to serve all of the whole state, people of the whole state, but I'm not going to leave out the poor and people of black and brown and color, minority. All of us should have the same right and receive the same dollar back into our community. This person in that now, Dick Durbin been in that 37 years. And you got to ask yourself this, are you better off today than what you were 37 years ago? I don't think so. The same lot back in 1968 when it rioted, the same building when 1968 was burned down, those same building is still there in the same condition.
Well, okay, so thanks for we wanted to so these are the things that you care about: the people's condition, healthcare, jobs, and these are the reasons why you are running for the Senate. But I just wanted to know, okay, and then you also mentioned some of the reasons why you do this for the community. Obviously, you have a heart for the people, and Priscilla Thomas just reiterated that. How has your organization personally? Let me ask this. You personally have given out, I think maybe $2 million, or some, at least I know about $2 million has been reported to people who have been unemployed since the pandemic hit. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, this year we're giving away just in the last 5 or 6 months, I suppose. I don't know. I think we'll give away about $4 or $5 million.
Wow.
To help our churches. We've given 10,000 people $100 a piece that didn't have food. That was $1 million. We're doing it again with that. And we also took in giving away 27 million face masks. I could have sold them for $18 million. So we did all of that as well because people didn't have face masks. So instead of me selling it, making $18 million, I gave it away.
Wow. Now, people also say, why you give a lot to churches. You are a religious man. You also have a radio show. I think it's an international radio show. And so people ask, why do you focus? I mean, yes, obviously you are Christian, so you would give to your your sector of religion or worship. Do you also give to other religious sects? Do you also like go there to them and then give them money, or you only focus on churches and Christians?
Well, basically, I used to do some of it, but what happened is most corporations and businesses don't give to our churches.
Oh,
We're not giving to our churches because the churches reach out to the whole community.
mm,
People come in the church asking for food, asking for clothing,
mm,
can't bury their loved one. So I'm really giving it to the church because I can reach more of the community that way
mm,
that they in need. Besides
right.
that, the Bible tells us, my religion tells me we should tithe a tenth
Mm,
back to the church. But so you really give it to the community because the church is more located in our community than pretty much any other business because they have one pretty much on every 5 or 6 block. And some you got 2 and 3 on the block. But the people's in need. What do we have to go to? What do we go to at least when we're in need? We go to church and we ask the church to give them food to eat, put clothing on their back, or someone got shot and killed. Somebody got to bury them. Preacher got to do a sermon on them.
right.
So we focus on those because of those reasons. Besides just the scripture tell us to give a tithe, a tenth.
I would like us to talk about the jobs in a little bit, but how has the campaign been for you so far?
Well, the job situation is tough, but there's certain industry that you happen to be in that does pretty well. For example, if you're in the healthcare business,
Okay.
that's real good. My business have pretty much tripled because people use face masks, they use disposable gloves.
Yeah.
The food industry, that people gotta eat. So you go to Walmart, Target, and all that kind of type of business.
Right.
Now, some of the other people been hurt if you're selling maybe cell phones or you're selling clothes and things like that, and people been laid off and business closed down, like the hotel that people used to be made and things like that, or the people working in parking lot. Well, those jobs gone.
Mm,
And, and how they will ever come back, I don't know.
right.
But we have to diversify ourselves by not giving up and hop over into some of those other industries that is really, really booming in business. You can do it. I mean, I did it. I only have a 7th grade education, never been back to school. Ran away from home at 13. And we have a $200 million company today, and we're debt free.
Right. Okay, so those are the places where people can find job, healthcare, technically. So for those who are struggling to find jobs, it's Dr. Willie Wilson. In addition to what you've done so far, what would be some of the, I'll say, advice or some of the things that you think you can keep doing to help people who are struggling at the moment?
Well, one of the reasons why I'm running for office
Mm-hmm.
is to make sure that put a lot of those small businesses back into business
Okay.
by way of grant, by
Yeah.
way of doing business with the state. Most of the major corporations doing 99% of all this business. Look at the prison system. No particular black and brown people got major contract in the prison system, but most major corporations.
Mm,
We have to bring that and bring job back there and make the opportunity fair equally. But apprenticeship, we need a lot of different trades. But these are the reasons why I'm running for office, because I can do more that way as opposed to be giving away $15 or $20 million a year this year to the community. I'll continue to do that, but I can get in there and help make laws, change laws, and make sure that those jobs come back to the community that don't have the opportunity to bid on them.
right.
We'll do it that way, So I believe that by doing this, running for office, we can make a whole lot of difference. Now, the thing that we got to look at too, people of black and brown have a tendency as a whole now, don't come out and vote. You know,
Right.
don't come out and vote. What do you expect? You should vote for, and then run for office yourself. Put the right people in office. That's the most powerful thing we got here, the ballot box. You
Right.
know? So when a job leaves, something happen like this right here that happened at virus, you got nobody that don't care about you. And the job ain't coming back. You know, be a long time. But here's another thing. So many people last month, in the last 30 days, 7% of American people, of white, thought about committing suicide. 15% of blacks in the United States thought about committing suicide. 18% Hispanic thought about committing suicide. That's not counting ones have all that did commit suicide. All right. So because of what? They don't have no job, they're at home, they can't go nowhere, they don't have money, can't feed themselves. That's a problem.
Right.
But if when I win U.S. Senate, first thing I would do is to make sure that money get back into those communities that are distressed. All right, and make sure we give a grant. Just because you're in a community and don't have the money, don't mean you don't know how to do business to create jobs. You got to give the grant to those small businesses to help get them up and get on their feet. And then they want to pay them back afterward by all means, you know. But we have to be creative, where we have to be fair. I think the word more or less fair, equality and parity, to make sure they get those opportunities to take them and get in business, survive, and feed their family, you know, instead of not feeding their family, but a lot of people continue to get killed.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Of course, if they're not able to feed their family, people take to any kind of means to survive, which includes some of the violence that we see on our streets. Thank you for helping the discussion so far. In about 7 minutes, we have the Congressman Daniel Davis, who we're going to be adding to the feed. And I know you guys are good friends, so yeah, we can bounce the conversation off each other. It's fine. You will still watching the Progressive Mind show, and we are gonna acknowledge our dear audience. Pearl Yaira Agboka says, she says, "Wow, God bless your heart, King. God bless your kind heart." I think that's what she's trying to say. Yeah, that's going to. And then Black Jesus says, "Dr. Willie Wilson is a very good man. Thank you for keeping your comment coming in." And then Priscilla says he has a heart for the people. Thank you so much, my brother. Chut Magai Boy Awul also joined us. Please help share the feed so we can encourage the community to do the right things. Like he said, we need to vote. The community does not necessarily partake in some of these things. These are important. All these conversations that we have, whether it's politics, whether it's the community, whether it's the economy, they are all very important. Your own little contribution is to partake in it or share the message. And so we will be very appreciative if you can do that. Dr. Willie Wilson, I know you give a lot to churches within the African American community, but this might be a silly question. We would want you to come to the African community too, to give us some money, because some of the churches there are struggling as well.
we do that. We go to a lot of African churches, you know.
Okay.
Wilson up on way up north in Milwaukee. A lot of African churches we go to.
Okay. Now there are a couple churches that within the Ghanaian community. Since I'm Ghanaian, I'm going to be partial. I'm going to be biased. Let me put it that way. So there is Pentecost, there is Assemblies of God, there is. So I would like to invite you to some of these, and they're nice people. I'm sure they would like to welcome you. Maybe treat you some nice African food, jollof, and all of that, and you can be helpful to them as well.
I will welcome that. If they are open back up now, a lot of the churches still closed. I know because of this virus, but we still go to different churches, though. I mean, those one that open up, we're all downstate for the next 60 days because of this election.
Right.
But just contact Scott, and Scott has set it up. We'll come. We are also campaigning in those different areas too.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So as I stated earlier, and then somebody says, we are here, Dr. Wilson. Temple of Victory is here. They're on the north side, and that's a good brother too. So I'm sure he'll be setting something up. We'll work something with Scott, and he's watching you now, and he really appreciates you. He talks about you. Before the show, we had a conversation, and I mean, the community of Chicago, anybody that knows Dr. Willie Wilson knows that he has a big heart. And so we are hoping that your message of change in the city of Chicago, or the city of Illinois, actually can resonate with the people. Prior to you coming, we understand that there was you tried to run on the ticket of the Democrats, but things didn't go well, and so you're running as an independent. And I asked him earlier, would that be a challenge for you? Would that be you being an independent candidate, is that good? Do you think that how is that going? Let me put it this way: how are you running as an independent going with regards to the campaign?
Well, I'm independent, but my party named the Willie Wilson Party.
With Dr. Willie Wilson Party, okay.
It's not Democrat nor Republican. It's my own party, and we set this up because, look, I used to be Democrat until in the presidential election, they wouldn't let me on the stage. I had to go in Mississippi. They wouldn't let me on the ballot. It took an all-white Supreme Court to put me on the ballot in the state of Mississippi against the Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. And I campaigned there, but they wouldn't. At the day of election, the caucus, they wouldn't put my name there. Down in South Carolina, they wouldn't even allow me on the stage with Hillary Clinton and everybody else, And so now we got our own party. But what good thing about this own party, which we were focused on after this election, you need 5% of the vote. I'm sure we'll get more than that. But you now people can run on this party who want to run for alderman, state rep, president, Senate, Congress. Anybody can run. But see, if we can get in there and have a third party, my party says, hey, look, get there and work for your community. Okay. Don't just cast your vote out here because the Democrats said to do this or do that. But make sure you cast your vote with your community in mind, meaning that equal opportunity for job, contracts, education, healthcare, gonna get back to the community. Otherwise, that you don't cast your vote to the Democrat or Republican, but you cast your vote for the community. And I think this is helping.
Great. So I did like to announce to our audience that we may have to just continue the discussion with Dr. Willie Wilson. I don't know how much time you have. We just got information from the office of Congressman Danny Davis that due to a sudden clash in I think schedules, I think that's what the message is. I think the sudden clash in schedule conflicts, they might not be able to make this evening show. We sincerely apologize. We're trying to see if it can be possible sometime, but for now it looks like we may not have him. So Dr. Wilson, I know this is sudden, and so we would take a short break, but before we do that, when we come back, feel free. I mean, I know you'll have a tight schedule if you have to leave any time, because we had you scheduled for 6 to 7, and so if you have to go, then we do understand. But if you can stay on for a little bit for maybe 1 or 2 questions, we'll be more than happy to do so.
Okay.
So at this point, let me let's take a short break. When we come back, we would continue the discussion with Dr. Willie Wilson. Please stay with us.
Big success.
Oh, right.
There are a lot of views.
Okay, it's 7 p.m. We're back on the Progressive Mind Show, and looks like we have a caller. Can you hear us, caller?
Yes, this is WILLIE.
Okay, great.
Africa University Magazine, yeah.
Okay, great. So WILLIE is calling, and Dr. Willie Wilson, can you still hear us?
Yes.
Okay, can you please go ahead with your question, comment?
Well, I just want to commend you, about this important topic, where the jobs are.
Thank you.
People are asking the question everywhere. Where is the job? Where are the jobs?
Right.
As a media person, I want that information so I can pass it out to my readers for the Africa USA Today magazine. Thank you.
You're so much welcome. I don't know if Dr. Willie Wilson heard the question, but he's asking. I don't know if he's asking where are the jobs. He wants to know if what was the situation, where are the jobs, and if you know where they are. He mentioned healthcare earlier, my brother. If you're still on the line, but I don't know if you want to respond to him directly, Dr. Willie Wilson.
Well, the job right now is pretty tough, but healthcare is an industry that you should be looking into, because that is, people need disposable things, gowns, masks, and things of that nature. That's a good industry to be involved with. But there's so many people have lost their job because there's so many businesses that have closed down. We need to look at a situation where that the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, if they were doing right by the people, they would carve out some of that business that they doing with international as well as the United States as well as the state, should be able to give some of those contracts that you begin to create those jobs through way of grant if you don't have money within yourself. The other thing that in terms of that concern, like the food industry, the water industry, something that people like right now need. I guess the teaching area, the food teaching, people need people tutoring at home, for teaching kids that don't know how to do their work, nor do their parents know how to do their work and study them as well, food delivered, those are good industry. You start your own cooking stuff at home and bag it and seal it and drive it, things of that nature to start creating something.
Right.
That's how you have to really do it right now until things pick back up,
Right. We're hoping that that's why we wanted to get Congressman Daniel Davis on the show to help answer some of these questions, but unfortunately looks like we may not get him last minute. We just got the information. We sincerely apologize to our listeners. Hopefully we can get to do this. And so, my brother, would that satisfy you? I know that it's very, very tough going out there. The state is, with unemployment, checks not coming in. I don't know if Dr. Willie Wilson is aware of this, and is there any maybe push from your office to maybe IDES to help speed up the unemployment process, because people cannot even reach them in the office when they call. You can't reach them on the number. There's no. Right. So I don't know if Dr. Wilson, I don't know if you're aware of this, and if you were, if there's anything that's coming from your camp with regards to this, in this regard, if I may ask.
We don't have anything from my part that I know of. Today we're just in the healthcare industry with disposable gloves and face mask, pretty much glove, medical grade glove.
Yeah, but I think my question is: are you aware of the issue with the unemployment checks coming in, because a lot of people are not getting it, and yeah, so I don't know if you're aware of it, and if that is the case, what is being done to make sure that people can be able to live off this stopgap measure until things open back up or until they're able to find a job?
My understanding is that that's still so far in Congress. They trying to give another round of check to come out, but that thing, you got a mail problem and everything. There, people getting mail, getting their check in mail. I can drop a check in mail. It might take 3 weeks to get across town.
Right.
I
Okay.
think that got a lot to do with it too. But I don't know much about on that part. Congressman David would definitely be the person to ask that question to.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, let me not hold your line up because I know other people are trying to get in. But thank you very much, Alinko. Keep up the good work. Okay.
Thank you so much, my brother WILLIE, for your contribution and the question. I hope that it was helpful. His response was helpful to you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. So we have a comment. He says, Ate says, we are here. Okay, no, I think he had a comment. He says, open invitation anytime. And there was a comment. He says, I have heard about Dr. Willie Wilson, but I was not aware that he did this much. So basically, he's trying to acknowledge the fact that you've been doing a lot in the community. And he says, Dr. Willie Wilson, how do you feel about Black people in America automatically blindly pledging allegiance to the Democratic Party?
I feel about Black people in America should not be used by the Democratic Party. I feel that they was like myself. We was Democrat because Black people was Democrat, but they're not being treated the right way. They use not only the Black politician, but they also use the community. You don't ever see them there until election time. That's all they see them. So I'm not feeling it. I think that the Black people in America need to vote for the person who's going to vote for their pocketbook, the family. I don't think you should be drawn to any particular party unless you want to help the community, and that's certain in terms of the Democrat. If the Democratic Party was so good to Black people, why are we in the shape that the community in today?
Right. Okay. So I guess that should be a good response to my brother Ate. And he passed another comment. He says, we see that in primaries, there were people of color, but when the top candidates were selected, all we saw was old white men, more of the same.
Yeah, absolutely right. I agree with him,
Well, it's 8 minutes past 7 p.m. We are on the Progressive Mind Show and talking to Dr. Willie Wilson. And he is trying his best, even though he's not an elected official yet. He's trying to, help us understand where we can find the jobs and where and what he has been doing personally to help people. He's donated a lot to the church. You mentioned earlier, Dr. Willie Wilson, that you have also been given to small businesses who may have been hit by the pandemic to try to recover. Right now, do you still have that running? Is there is it an ongoing program where small businesses can keep coming to get help, especially those who are still struggling and who have not gotten any help at all?
We don't have it right now because we got 6 more days to go.
Okay.
Before this election, November 3rd.
All right.
All right, and we shut the foundation down. But mere fact is that we might have could have, but I gave away these face masks, which was about $18 million. And so a lot of those dollars went to those face masks for senior citizens and other people didn't have, or did they have the money out here. But for right now, for the next 60 days, we're just concentrating on this race. If we get that done, then we'll be able to do a lot for all of our community.
Excellent. Before you came on, I was talking to when we were talking to Scott. He mentioned, well, he didn't mention. I mean, it's already out there, but we talked about how you were able to pass, I think, 2 or 3 laws or bills into how you were able to make sponsor and help pass 2 or 3 legislations. Can you maybe, from the horse's own mouth, walk us through those 3 and how you were able to make that happen?
Well, but based on all of them, I had to hire a lobbyist company. I had to spend a lot of money on television and radio. We had to also petition. I had a good relationship with the past governor, you know.
Past governor. Okay.
That was Bruce Ryan. We had a good relationship with him, and he was Republican. And then we talked to some of the legislators, black and white, you know, and got them to understand the issue. And some of them was like, you know, small businesses and crime bill and stuff like that. To get these things done, it took us 12 months to 24 months to get them done, but we got them done.
Right.
You know? And so, but bigger thing about getting it done, you need money. You need money to advertise on TV. You need money to hire lobbyist people. You need money to get around. You need money for the mail-in. You need money to donate to different people out here and try to make stuff happen. It's all about economic. If you don't have the economic to deal with, it's difficult because people won't pay attention to you at all. But we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on television, bringing it up, making the community aware of it, and then going around talking to the community. And when you go around and talk to the community, you know, you gotta have refreshing for them to have, drink water when they come in there,
right?
Eat when they come in there. So all that stuff adds up. But you have to do it if you want to get things done. Yeah.
Right. No, thank you. So because we understand, I mean, and whilst we're talking, we were deliberating, or you know, trying to figure out if any private citizen has been able to get laws passed, you know, unlike you, and well, we don't know of any right now, and in that in itself, you know, that in itself is, I'll say, you've already achieved a lot for the Black community, I will say, you know, because for anybody to be able to push beyond the, you know, all these barriers to be to achieve what you have achieved for the Black community. I mean, to get these laws passed, having gone through all these things that you had to go through, I think that that's very recommendable, and I hope that the community to which you did this would appreciate. I mean, we have seen it. I mean, I'm sure they appreciate it and would reciprocate that, you know, in this campaign for 2020. Now, what will be one of the few things that you would want to change or see happen in the state of Illinois if you were to get into the Senate? Maybe your top 3 priority things that you would want to see happen immediately.
Well, immediately you want to see economic development and economic empowerment.
Okay.
You want to set up a grant for apprenticeship, trade, you know, with part of the economic development. You want to make sure that the healthcare energy there, make sure that senior citizens and people who cannot afford it can have food to eat. You know, can buy medication, can afford to go to the doctors, you know, those basic things, you know, but don't even have running water in their home, you know. So we would talk to economic development and empowerment, the healthcare industry, and then prison reform as well as police reform.
Prison reform and police reform. That will go a long way, because it has been an issue. But I would like you also talk about I think yesterday we heard that I think the president had passed this the payroll tax law. I don't know if you have heard about it, but there was this law that was passed, and I'm going to try to see if it says payroll tax cut. I don't know if you've heard about it.
We will not necessarily heard about it. I did hear about it, but I didn't know it got through yesterday. They would get that through or not.
Right. Okay. So in news around, it's looking like it has been passed. And my question is, what's the implication of this law? They call it a payroll tax cut. A lot of people are excited because basically what it means, from my understanding, is that, well, federal taxes will not be taken from people's checks. So that means they'll have more money coming in than before. But we're also hearing that, well, maybe after some time, you would have to pay back what the government didn't take. Is that true? If it's, maybe you want to help us understand this a little bit more.
That is you. I think you explained it very accurate. But if you ain't got a paycheck coming in there, that payroll tax ain't gonna help you. If you ain't got a job,
right?
But for those who do have a job, of course, that too, But that would go a long way because a lot of money taken out of your taxes, your paycheck,
Mm-hmm.
But you explained it real well. That's how I understand it to be as well,
Okay. Well, so if you've seen this, probably be a good thing, probably not. We're not sure. You may want to speak to your tax advisor, your financial advisor, to look into this for you. I think one of the things that has been lacking in our community is us paying attention to our finances, not just our income and our wages coming in, but the management of it and how we can use it. How we can use certain things in the system that can be beneficial to our finances now and in the future. Okay, so I think we have to be very, very circumspect when it comes to this aspect of our lives as a community. And Dr. Willie Wilson, maybe you've been having been a very successful businessman. I'm sure these are some of the principles that you have had to pay attention to, how to handle your finances, right? Maybe we know we're talking about the jobs and everything, but the discussion is going down into we are talking about finances. With your experience and having been around for a long time and having been successful, now you're giving back. But before you made it, what advice would you give to our community in terms of managing our finances and how we can be disciplined and diligent when it comes to our money?
Well, money is important to save for present survival, and also you have to also remember you gotta save for a day of a retirement.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also gotta look at it that if you don't make enough money to take care of yourself and having it extra left over, and you're always owing people bill, that don't give you a chance to save in it.
Mm-hmm.
So those who can get it saved, I always say this, but pay yourself first. If you save just 10% of what you make, and then multiply it over 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you're gonna find yourself a pretty good piece of money there, But I think that we call it profit and loss statement, and you look at the bottom line. I always would say, my banker told me, look at up top with a profit and loss statement.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, but then you take your money from there versus at the bottom. So you have to always make sure you put some away for yourself, because after all, you're the one doing the work in it, right? But
Right.
there are financial advisors out here, They got personal financial advisor, you got major corporation, Merrill Lynch, Charles Schwab. You got a lot of them out there, but you got to pay them too.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing to do is that I don't use a lot of stock, because if I get in the stock market, stock is only as good and when you get ready to sell it. Because, I invest into CDs, money market and stuff like that. But if you don't take that and invest into the stock, one day it's up, next month is down.
Mm-hmm.
So you like up and down, up and down.
Right.
I make sure that when I say it's something solid, I'm very conservative on that.
Mm-hmm.
For retirement, saving money, I'm very conservative on that. The rest of the dollars, I might put some aside that I can take chances with. If you want to do a little stock and stuff like that,
Right.
some investment and things of that nature too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to buy a home or rehab and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Right. Because we're trying to see, how do Black people build wealth? How do we save? I mean, we already talking about scanty income or low wages, and a lot of people can barely make it. And so how do you, like you said, you talk about this principle: pay yourself first and then put some on the side, do some stocks if you can, and put the rest away. Now, do you just put it away, put it in the savings? And when you put in the savings, it's not going to yield anything. So how do you literally make your money grow? So I guess this will be another conversation to be had, because it's really, really important. So definitely we're going to be looking into it. We've discussed this before on the show, but we will be looking deeper into it on another session. You're still watching the Progressive Mind Show with your host, Alinko. We're talking to Dr. Willie Wilson, and he's giving us his insight. I mean, he's giving us his version, his responses regarding where some of the jobs, where we can find jobs currently. He mentioned the hospitality industry. He mentioned the healthcare industry, and he has personally given out money to people who are struggling. Now he's running for the U.S. Senate this year, representing Illinois, and we are listening to some of the things that he wants to do, the things that he's passionate about and wants to bring to the state of Illinois. Now, do you feel? I asked this question earlier, and I want to get another. I want to go back to that question again. Do you feel that the community is reciprocating in as much as you have been pouring into it?
No, I still think the community is so much great need out there. Like our community, the poor community out here is in bad shape because we don't even eat the right food.
Yeah, but are they supporting you? Are they like throwing their weights behind you?
And, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But particularly the African American community, we won pretty much just about all the African American ward last time we ran for mayor.
Okay.
We also won 8% of the white community and about 3 or 4% of the Latino community, the Asian community.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that getting them to come out and vote.
Okay.
That's a major problem. If they came out and voted last time, it would have been different circumstances, But it was an all-time low voting turnout,
Okay. It's 7:23, Dr. Willie Wilson. I don't know if you have some. I don't know if it's time for you to, let us know if we have to let go, because this wasn't the actual plan for the day, and so we know we have eaten into your time a little bit.
Okay.
You still have some few minutes for? I mean, let us know. How many more minutes do you have to spare for us? Okay. I hope we haven't lost him. Okay. All right. Okay. We got you. So, Dr. Willie Wilson, I was asking if you still have a few minutes. How many more minutes do you think you have for us?
Well, I gotta take the run now. Matter of fact, I try to stay a little big. I'll come back again though.
Okay, great. I wanted to be sure, because I wasn't sure. I didn't know how much time you had based off the change in the sudden change in program. So, well, it's been great. You've been of so much of a blessing for our community, the state of Illinois, and to the human race. Your benevolence, your heart, and your giving, and your purpose on this earth has been felt by so many. And even people who haven't met you have heard your name. They have felt your good deed. And so we say thank you and God bless you for everything you were doing. Before you go, please give us your closing remarks. A lot of African folks, Caribbean folks are watching and listening to you. So you want to give us your closing remarks until we get to do this again.
Well, I asked that on November the 3rd. Don't wait until just November the 3rd. would like for you to do your mail-in, your early voting.
Mhm.
Those are the days that we're trying to push right now. And so when you go into the polls, mine is Willie Wilson, vote for me, but hopefully. But if you don't vote for me, vote for somebody, you know. But we hope that people understand that life is about helping others.
Mm.
And that is how you help yourself, by helping others. When you put others first, then you're helping yourself.
Right.
Must always remember that, is that we always put here for a reason.
Mm.
Everybody can do something, some good deed for somebody else. And don't forget about the poor. Don't forget about the senior citizen. And don't forget about your church and your tithes and your offering.
Mm.
You'll be okay, and work hard like you never worked before.
Wow. The man mentioned tithe. He's a millionaire. He's a successful man. He mentioned tithe. A lot of people have an issue with tithe. So, well, that's a very great point you made. Thank you so much, Dr. Willie Wilson. We appreciate you, and we are we'll be looking forward to, hosting you again, maybe closer to the elections or whatever. We'll be looking forward to it. You've been a blessing unto us. God bless you, and thank you so much.
God bless you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Now, we want to continue with we would have to continue with the show this evening. Dr. Willie Wilson will take leave of us. Thank you so much, my audience, for engaging and indulging with us. Even though we just had a slight, now I would say a sudden change in the plan this evening. So we would have to make it happen, one way or the other. But I do really, really appreciate you all for staying on and for contributing to the show so far, and I hope that Dr. Willie Wilson left a good mark on you, left a good impression on you. I like his closing remarks that we are all called to be a blessing unto others. I always have a saying that it's a call to live for something greater than yourself. It's a call of duty to live for something greater than yourself. There's a purpose to which we were made, and when you find yourself in that purpose, you have to run with it, even when you don't find yourself in it, and if you don't find yourself in it, but see yourself doing something else, that's okay. I think the very important thing is that when we hear some of these things, it should create the awareness. It should ignite something in us to want to go beyond what we are currently doing. And I think that for me personally, that is the essence of life. That is the essence to why we were brought on earth, which he said a few minutes ago. And I'm sure that you agree with it. If you don't, it's okay. We all have different views. And that is why we like to engage in these types of decorum every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. It is the Progressive Mind Show. This is where like-minded people meet. This is where we give hope to the hopeless. This is where we serve as the voice to the voiceless. This is where we connect the diaspora, the African diaspora, the Black diaspora, as some will call it. And so make sure you are able to join us every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Whilst you are at it, please visit our website, theprogressivemindshow.com, and make a donation to us. Alternatively, you can cash up something to us, which goes a long way in supporting the cause and supporting this vision that we're on. And so it's 29 minutes past 7 p.m. here in the studios, and we would want to go on a short break. When we come back, if you have a question or a comment based on what you heard from Dr. Willie Wilson, have some words of encouragement, please call in and share it, or you can put it on our feed if you're on Facebook or YouTube. You will be more than happy to read it out. Stay tuned to the Progressive Mind Show.
You're listening to the Progressive Mind Show, your #1 community building show in the world. Every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. CST, live on Facebook and YouTube. Join us as we discuss pertinent issues that relates to you and I with your host, Alinko.
Welcome back again to the Progressive Mind Show. I'm your host and Alinko, and we just spoke with Dr. Willie Wilson, trying to get answers with regards to the job situation, the unemployment crisis that people are facing due to the pandemic. We had scheduled Congressman Daniel Davis to also help in this regard, but unfortunately, that changed at the very minute that they actually came online and informed us that due to circumstances beyond their control, they would have to reschedule this. So again, we want to apologize to our audience for this last minute I would say change in plan. We sincerely apologize. We would have been looking into what his office does. And I know Congressman Daniel Davis has been very, very active in his office has been very active when it comes to immigration, for instance, providing assistance to communities and organizations, individuals, and so their participation in tonight's discussion would have been awesome. We are hoping that we can be able to arrange that and make it happen. I know my brother Magai is still on the line. Magai, great guy of the Sudanese community. We'll be looking to have a forum with you guys. Okay, we want to know what the African leaders are doing, what is happening to your communities during this pandemic, and even beyond that. And so, Peter, I'll be contacting you very soon. You and Sena from the Ethiopian community. My brother Ate Akrong, Pastor Ate Akrong is still here with us. Thank you so much, Pastor, for contributing this evening and helping the show. Priscilla also is still here. And then we have Pearl Agboka. Thank you so much for being part of the show so far. Royal Black Jesus joined us earlier, and he says Dr. Willie Wilson is a good man. Well, Efa Ameya Kakape has been here. Nanoma has also been here. Rebecca Mode, my number one fan. She's always here. She says, good job. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Well, looks like this evening show would have to be ended abruptly. We'll have to end it usually we go up to 8 p.m. But sometimes there are changes. Life bring you changes, and when it does, you have to adjust. You have to adapt to change. So this evening might be one of the days where the Progressive Mind show would not go the full run, and so we would probably just go ahead and the conversation this evening. But well, we might just go for a musical break. This one is from Easy Maze. Now, there's a reason why I play this song a lot. He's a very good friend of mine, and he did this song for a very good reason, which he had explained to me. I'm not able to share it because he hasn't given me the permission to share it. But he's from Chicago. He's in Hyde Park. A great friend of mine. Now, I do play other music. I used to play other Afro beats on my show. Of late, I have not been able to get. No, let me not say I haven't get access to. I have access to them, but we're working on that. There's so many friends of mine who are into Afro beat, and so we'll be rolling them out as time goes on. And but for now, let's enjoy Easy Maze, our own brother in Hyde Park. This Hyde Park guy has been doing great things in terms of music. He has a lot of music. He has an album and a lot of music on there. You can check up his YouTube channel. Just type Easy Maze. That is IZEE Maze. All right. Let's take a listen. We can maybe we'll come back and close out. All right.
It must have been the sunset. Oh, the summer sunset. It's Summertime and I'm in my prime, it feels nice outside, so dance, baby girl, just dance. Louis bag in your hand, you don't need no man, you just need your feet and toes in between the sand. Get your tan on, girl, get your tan on. I'm looking like, damn, can I mess with your plan? I'm a fan, I'm gazing at her lakeshore eyes, her Colgate smile, it's summertime. The summer sunset, sunset, it must have been the sunset. Sunset, sunset, sunset. I will never let you down. So DJ spin the last song. 'Cause I love the way you roll it, roll it, roll it so slow. When I'm holding, holding, won't let you go. Just keep rolling, rolling, rolling so slow. 'Cause I don't know what it is this time. The sunset, ooh, the summer sunset, sunset. It must have been the sunset, ooh, the summer sunset, sunset, sunset. Roll it, roll it, roll it so slow. When I'm holding, holding, won't let you go. Just keep rolling, rolling, rolling so slow. 'Cause I don't know what it is this time. The summer sunset, 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 sunset. The summer sunset, sunset, sunset.
Well, this is where we would end this evening's edition of the Progressive Minds. I hope you enjoyed that music. One of the reasons why I love this music is because the video was shot right here in Chicago, right here in my area. Actually, one of the beaches here. I think across the, alongside, along the lakeshore from I'll say 31st all the way to 63rd. I think about 3 or 4 beaches here, and they are all awesome. And I like taking strolls there sometimes. And one of my favorite spot is where he shot the video at. I didn't know, but once I saw the video sometime and I was talking to him, and I realized he had shot it there, it just became my favorite all of a sudden, because that's one of my favorite spot that I go to chill out. I like to go look at the water. It's just one of my videos, one of my favorite videos. It's just a scene. I just like to see the scene, and so I like to play it. But it's also a good tune. Well, if you want to listen to it, you can check it out on Facebook. YouTube. It's Easy Maze. All right. He also performs. He also does shows for events, parties, and all of that. I've been to one of his events. He has a couple of songs. Very good stage performer. A lot of energy. So if you want to book him, he worked with a couple of guys, and so depending on the genre you want, he can always do something. And I think he also does his own production and all of that. So great guy to work with if you're trying to do something party wise. So Easy Maze, that's him. Well, I want to thank you again for being part of tonight's edition, and we will definitely be coming back next week, Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. We are asking that you help the Progressive Mind Show with your donations. Go to our website, theprogressivemindshow.com. You can also cash app it to us, the $ SENAALINCO, because we need that support to be able to keep going. We need it a lot. So please help us. I know people always say, oh, the Black community don't help each other, or Africans don't help each other. I don't believe in that theory. even though the reality on the ground is that you sometimes feel it. People argue that, well, it's because our community take a lot of hit when it comes to um, uh, social inequality or economic inequality. We seem to not have our fair share of the cake, and so people are not making enough or can barely make it, let alone give out, right? Let alone be benevolent. And so sometimes that's what that's the reason people are not able to give in the Black communities. And so yes, it's all nice, but some too are fortunate to be able to give. And so if you have the ability to do so, please go ahead. And nothing is too small. It could be $1, $2, whatever. Let us try as a community to have the heart to give, especially to good causes, right? And so it always helps. There are a lot of organizations that need it. I'm not the only one. But now that you're watching me, just make sure you give me first, and then you can go to other organizations. My Cash App is so the $, Sena is S for Sam, E for elephant, N like Nancy, and then A like Alinco, right? A like Adam, and then A again, L like Lima, I for Indigo, N for Nancy, C for cat or Charlie, and then O for Oscar. So $ Sena Alinco. If you go on Cash App, you should be able. It should pop up. Make your contributions to support what we're doing. Well, God bless you so much. I don't want to leave because I'm going to miss you. I'm used to being with you from 6 to 8, and interacting and getting things done. But next week is going to be very interesting. Next week we're talking to our local farmers. Next week is feeding our community, and so you definitely don't want to miss that. We're bringing farmers in the city of Chicago on the show. Tell us about the activities and how we can bring I would say organic food, nutritious food into our community. We want to encourage that. We want to encourage good nutrition in our communities, because a lot of times, again, due to financial stress, people are forced to eat whatever they can lay their hands on, right? Because if you want to get all the organic grocery and all of that, or sometimes even to get good crops, good vegetable. I mean, in order to get good nutrition, you have to invest in vegetables, organic crops, and all of that, right? And a lot of times we understand that it's quite expensive or relatively pricier than what you can fast food and some of the things that you can easily make and feed yourself and feed your family with. So these local farmers have been trying to teach people how you can turn your backyard into a garden where you can grow your own food. And they are also going to small to medium scale farming, where they are providing enough, not for just themselves, but the community, where you can go and pick up fresh vegetables, because we know the health implications when it comes to what we put in our body. So I think next week is going to be very, very interesting and important. The elections are coming. The U.S. elections is coming. Ghana is also going to have its elections, general elections in December. They're going to be very, very interesting. What else? What else is coming? Well, a couple of events. We do have an event coming. It's launching of a Nigerian artist. His name is Mokaila. I wish I have the information to share with you, but I think I should be able to find it. Mokaila, an artist who is going to be outdoored on I think I have the information here. I'm going to read it out now. Let me see here. Just give me one moment. Okay. Looks like we have it. Okay. So iStrategy is sponsoring this event. It's called Expressions, Faces, and Figures. It's going to be an outdoor of a Nigerian-born talented artist and storyteller. His name is Mukaila Ayode. All right, and it's going to be the theme is the art of business, and it's going to be led by career experts who are very knowledgeable. They're going to help us navigate this changing economic landscape. So you have to come and discover how Mukaila transitioned his love of art from a professional hobby into a micro entity capable of providing sustainability. Again, the topic is the art of business. Small is the big, is the new big. Small is the new big. Exploring the growing necessity of the micro entity and a subcategory of small businesses that are stepping up and taking their place in shaping the post-pandemic economy. Be sure to stay for a special dedication as we celebrate Nigeria's 60th anniversary. So that day is going to be in conjunction or in collaboration with Nigeria's 60th anniversary. Almighty Niger is celebrating the 60th anniversary. It will be a very great day. Nigeria is the big brother. It's big brother Africa. You know, I always say that when Nigeria, does well economically and politically, sub-Saharan Africa will do very, very well. On a general, sub-Saharan is picking up, they're growing, they're doing what they can. But I keep saying Nigeria is big brother. Once things change economically and politically positively, I think it is going to resonate in that whole region. So big brother Nigeria, we're looking up to you. We're waiting on you. Ghana, of course, is doing exploits. There's a lot of things that's coming up. The borders have been open. People are already going to Ghana and visit. People have already bought their tickets and trying to go to Nigeria. I had a friend who called me and said, hey, they're going to Nigeria as well. So look, people are already making trips, trying to check out Africa, because I think Africa is the fastest growing continent economically. So you want to definitely look at that. Vast natural resources, great people. And so that is definitely something you want to be paying attention to if you haven't been to Africa yet. So this great event, this art adoring of Mukaila Ayode, in conjunction with Nigeria's 60th anniversary, is going to be happening on the 1st of October 2020. Location is at Bridgeport Art Center, 1200 West 35th, Chicago. The time is 6:30 p.m. You can get tickets at Eventbrite. You can buy your tickets at Eventbrite. Look for Expressions, Faces, and Figures. Look for faces and figures, expressions, faces and figures. Once you are at Eventbrite and buy your ticket there, log the date. See if you can. I'm trying to log this date in the 1st of October, from 6:30 p.m. We're going to start 6:30 p.m. sharp. All right, and the address is Bridgeport Art Center, 1200 West 35th. 35th, Chicago. If you can't remember the address, which is 1200 West 35th, if you type Bridgeport Art Center, you should be able to find it. You cannot miss it. So yeah, that said, to my great team, Nanama, Obed, Henry, what's the name? What are the other names? Aram, Emmanuel, Nene, Joseph, Aisha, all of you who have been helping to make Progressive Minds great. Oh, Bennett, Asti, everybody, thank you again to Ate, Pastor Ate, Ashia, Naja B just joined. She says, good job. Thank you, Naja. Thank you, Naja, for joining in, a special lady. Arshia Hasnian, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being so supportive of what we're doing. Yes, I haven't forgotten about your organization, Empowering Women, NFP. NFP is the organization that is helping with domestic violence. I am glad to be a liaison. I'm glad to be part of them, playing a liaison role for the African diaspora community. We're going to be rolling that out very soon in terms of my involvement, but NFP have been in existence. I think a couple months ago. Ashia is a great lady in the community who has been working tirelessly for the people who have suffered from domestic violence. And when we say domestic violence, automatically our minds go to women and children, but a lot of men are going through it too. And Ashia's organization looks at both. Right. So we're trying to see how can we get help to people who are falling victim to domestic violence, which is what Ashia and her group are doing. It is called Empowering Women NFP, Empowering Women NFP. I'm pleased to be one of their community liaison, and I'm very excited having been this community service thing for more than 15 years, starting all the way from Ghana to Chicago. It's just a joy to be able to associate myself with powerful people such as Ashia Hasnian and her organization. And we are looking forward to great things happening. We're going to be having them on the show as well. And so please be looking out for that. And if you have any help for love, compassion, and any assistance for people who are suffering from that, the domestic violence that is, and you want to support Ashia in a group, you can look up Empowering Women NFP. For some reason, I'm struggling to pronounce that word. I need to eat more okra, so that I can have all that lubrication going on. As an Ewe man from Ghana, it's my favorite soup though, okra and banku. For those who don't know it, banku is made out of dough. It's similar to what's the name for it? What else is there that I can compare banku to? But anyway, it's made out of dough, cassava. No, it's made out of corn dough. Very, very good. And if you eat that with okra soup, oh my God, it's the best. And one of my favorite food. So that's just by the way. But Jackie Monet just joined. She says, I would love to support that movement. Yeah. So if you want to, please look them up. It's Empowering Women NFP. You will be seeing them shortly. In a few weeks, you'll be seeing them on the show. We're going to be talking more about it. So go ahead and look them up, and you can give them, you can provide them any type of help that's within your power. Also, you can look up Ashia Hasnan. Ashia Hasnan on Facebook. She's the CEO. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, she's the CEO, and she can help you. She can help in that regards as well. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go. She says, I wrote a 30-day interact book for women on self-love. Oh, Jackie Monet. Okay. A 30-day interactive book for women on self-love. Huh. That is beautiful. Okay. So Ashia would be happy to connect with you, and hopefully we can let me see if I can drop a link. Okay, so Jackie, let's see if we can connect. You can contact our business line. It's 773-691-4932. I don't have their link right now. Let me see if I can find it while we're here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, their website may be under construction, I was told some time ago. So let me see if I can find it. Okay. I'm not certain. Let me see here. Okay. I'll try and get you the information later, okay, Jackie. But in the meantime, you can contact the Progressive Mind Show at info.progressiveminds@gmail.com or call our office line 773-691-4932. 4932. All right. And I can connect you to their organization. Keep supporting the Progressive Minds. Keep doing good. Keep living for something greater than yourself, because I believe is the reason and the purpose to which you are on this earth. Anytime you find yourself in a situation or in a place, make sure you are bringing value. You will find you're making it better than you found it. And I believe that's how you make your world and our world a better place. I have been privileged to come your way this evening, and I'm so glad and I so appreciate your time and your contribution and support. I really love you for everything you do for the Progressive Minds. Please keep supporting us in any way that you can. To my ambassadors in Ghana and here, to my team, to everyone that has been supportive directly and indirectly, I say, God bless you. We love you so much. To God be the glory. Remember, to whom much is given, much is required. This has been your favorite host, Alinko, with the Progressive Mind Show. We shall see you next week. Bye-bye from us. God bless you.